All right. Hey, and we're live. Welcome, welcome everybody to the Millionaire Mindset Hangout. Today we're going to be sharing 3 very powerful abundance manifestation exercises. But before we get to that, I want to quickly introduce everybody here on the panel who's here now. And Keisha's coming. I am, for those of you that may not know me, is maybe your first time coming across me, I'm Valerie Jampolsky. I am from Abundance Now. I am a single mom of twin 5-year-old boys, and I do my usual naked kid alert. They might come running out. I'm going to protect the space, and hopefully I've strategized where I sit and do these hangouts now so that we don't have that issue. So and I do this. I do what we do with all these wonderful ladies so that I can have the freedom to be home with my kids and to really talk about things that really matter to me, such as helping people to really manifest their abundance. I think that's something that just really, really, truly resonates with me. And I am going to pass it on quickly over here right now. We have Alicia in her car. Alicia, you're on.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome. I didn't know if you could see me or not.
Yeah,
I'm out here in my car because Brian's car, and we are in waiting because I'm going to this new music school I'm looking forward to. I thought it was going to be, I've just gone to like several different music schools in the area, so looking at different opportunities for me to teach, the piano and voice and kinder music in the area. So it's been pretty exciting to meet the different owners of the different schools and stuff in the area and all the new opportunities around here. So keeping the millionaire mindset here on with you guys has been a challenge. I think a lot of people have that challenge as they're discovering new ways and new opportunities. So I am definitely ready for your exercise, Valerie, and learning what insights you have, because I know every time I go through an exercise, I get like in this new awareness going, I should have thought about it that way, and thinking about different ways to approach ways you speak and different ways you approach your thoughts can be very powerful on every task that you're trying to do out there. So thank you, Valerie. I'm out here in Houston today, and thanks for helping us out on putting everything together, helping everybody on here, creating their millionaire mindset that they're striving to work for daily, because it's a daily practice that you have to work on, and if you're not doing it, you just seems like you're falling back on growing forward in yourself. So thanks, Valerie. And moving over, I'm so excited that Greta is here today with her sweet one. Yes.
Greta.
As she mutes herself out.
Yeah.
I just turned off my camera instead of unmuting myself. But you guys can see me, right?
Yeah, a little blurry, but we can see you. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, my name's Greta Campagnolo, and I loved everything that you just shared, Alicia. I'm just as excited as you are about this exercise today. I know we have been talking about this for a while. We have been waiting for Valerie to have, to dedicate one of our hangouts to a special exercise that Valerie has for all of us, for you joining us today. And I'm here. I'm pumped. I've just been busy with the kids as usual. I'm a busy mom with half a dozen kids. We live on Vancouver Island. We have been celebrating our 4-year-old's for our birthday for the last few days now, and so we've got a little extra sniffles and such. We've been having lots of beach days and lots of fun at the park and just out and about. What are you doing? Having lots of fun. Don't cover up your handsome face. And this is my Ethanator, we like to call him. He's
Hey, Ethan. Hey, baby.
6 years old and excited to be here. And he's having a little trouble with his asthma today, so he's going to stick around and stick close. And I know that whatever Valerie has to share today is not only going to be good for me, and even for Valerie, for Alicia, for Keisha, will be hopping on in a few moments now. It's going to be good for him as well, and for you. So I'm super excited and just pumped. So thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, Greta. And hi, Ethan. So, and yeah, Keisha will be popping out at some point. So when she pops out, we'll stop whatever we're doing and she can quickly introduce herself as well. So I wanted to start this off with, and I'm actually going to give some perspective and maybe a switch of awareness that might assist when we do this exercise, because that's what's powerful and key into working with it. And it's starting off with, I want to just with this idea, this concept of every day taking a look, and frankly every moment, but especially when we wake up in the morning every day, to realizing that, we're beginning anew. Each moment, each day, it doesn't matter what's happened in the past, and every moment is a moment to begin anew and let go, release, let go of what's happened, anything that may have happened, even a moment ago, never mind yesterday or a year ago or 10 years ago. I know some of you are hanging on to stuff that happened 10 years ago. For years, I hung on to stuff that happened to me, when I was little. So, and that's part of the process of what I want to talk about today in terms of this exercise. And it's about having an awareness of really who we really are. And a lot of folks, you may or may not be aware. For some of you, this is old hat. For some of you, this may be a very new concept. But the idea that everything, all of us, all the plants, all the trees, the entire universe, the essence of that is this incredible, powerful brilliance, this incredible, some people call it light, some people call it love, some people call it abundance, all of those qualities, wisdom, creativity, all of that, all of the things, all the qualities, joy. Whoop, and here comes my little one. Hey. Oh, Jordan's awake. Oh my goodness. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm gonna quickly pass it on to you, Greta, for 1 second on this topic, and I'm just gonna hang on, just gonna do this for 1 sec.
Yeah, I think you can hear me. Naked kid alert. Good thing we had that going. It's just the way the show goes. We just roll with it as mompreneurs, and I'm sure you've experienced maybe moments like that yourself. And that's what I love about these hangouts. It's it's a place where I come each and every week to just quite frankly, just be ourselves, be the moms that we are, and be able to inspire and share our like what we have learned, what we continue to learn, and to share it with others, and continue on this entrepreneurial journey together. And just know that, like she was just saying, no matter what happens, I'm sure she's not worried about it. It happens, her little one woke up, and she will quickly do what she needs to do there. She is an incredible, incredible mom. If you're not following her already, make sure that you are. And yeah, so it's all good. It's all good in the head. We know what it's all about, don't we, Ethan?
Yeah.
You've seen naked bums before.
Good thing I did the naked kid alert.
Perfect.
I got him talking, but he came up and was like, oh my goodness, he's up and on the edge here. I've like cornered myself on the couch here, like going, I can control the situation, but it's okay. All good, all good. Yeah, they don't like to keep their clothes on. They know to wear them when they're out, but they don't like keeping their clothes on when they're home. Okay, so getting back to where I was. All right, yeah, this idea of the essence of who we are, even little naked bums. That we are all this love, this joy, this beauty, this abundance, that it's already all in us. It's actually, it permeates absolutely everything. It's almost not that it's all in us, we're in it, so to speak, if that can make any sense. And any of you that may have had an experience, I actually had an experience of this when I was 14. I was sitting there, I don't know if I might have shared it on this Hangout before in the past, I'm not sure, but I was sitting there in the car. My mom had just gone into the bank, and she was sitting there in the car, and it was actually winter time. I was up in Canada. I grew up in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and if any of you folks, any Canadians out there, you'll know in Edmonton it gets cold. And I was never a fan of the snow. I always liked things warm, but I was sitting there in the car, and I was toasty warm in the car, and I was looking out the window, and it was bright blue skies. Even though it was cold outside, it was blue skies, and the sun was shining on the snow, right? And I was sitting there, and I was listening on the radio. Actually, Stevie Wonder was playing, of all things. I'm listening to Stevie Wonder on the radio, and I'm looking out the window at the sun shining on the snow, and all of a sudden something happened. and I had this wild awareness just hit me. It was kind of crazy, but I started to think about why I went there. I don't know, but I started thinking about looking at the sun and realizing that I saw it was beautiful, which was new for me. I was like this teenager, like, I don't like the cold, right? And I'm looking at the sun, going, it's beautiful, and then starting to look at the snow, and I started thinking about molecules and electrons and everything else, and realizing, because we learned in school, everything was like, the essence of everything. There's this energy, this underlying energy that makes up all of the electrons and molecules of everything, of all matter and submatter, everything. I mean, it's just, that's the essence of everything. And I started to think about that for some reason, and how that energy and the space even between the electrons and everything, which is really most everything is made of space, but it's all that energy that's in there, and that how it never goes away. It always just changes form, etc., etc. And I just had this wild awareness that we are all this essence, this energy, and all of a sudden this incredible joy bubbled up from within. This incredible love and joy and peace, I don't even know how to explain it, of just feeling this connectedness to everything. And it happened by accident, so to speak. I just kind of stumbled across this experience that I'd never ever had before. It was very, very powerful. Oh, and Keisha's here. I'm gonna stop everything. We're gonna just welcome Keisha. We've already gone through introductions to the last one. Bringing you out to introduce Keisha.
Hello, everyone. I am sorry for being tardy to the party, but I'm just finishing up with our last session, working with the youth. I work with concerned black men in our Philadelphia area and the Philadelphia school system. We had a Toastmaster youth leadership program, and I'm very excited at the growth and leadership of the children, and they just finished some speeches. So I'm sorry I'm late, but it was for a great cause. I'm happy to be here with you, and I'm ready to chime in wherever you guys. I know we're going to be doing this great experience or exercise with you, Valerie, so I'm going to turn it back over to you so we can get started and rolling.
Cool, cool, and thank you. Welcome. It's so wonderful what you do, Keisha, and everything that you do is just so powerful. So powerful. Yeah, so I was just talking about this experience I had when I was 14 years old in the car, and how I had this awareness of the essence, the connection that we have with absolutely everything, right? Down from the molecules down to the energy, and when I kind of connected those dots together, that something happened, and I opened up to this experience of feeling that connection, of actually feeling that connection, and this this joy just welled up inside of me, this incredible joy and gratitude, and I can't even explain it. It was almost like gratitude for nothing, so to speak. Just this incredible joy of experiencing that being and that connection with everything, and that we are all connected. It was just a very powerful experience. Some of you, I know some of you have had that experience. I would love if you have to share it in the chat below. Now, or if you're watching this in the replay, we do this. We all go back and we communicate together. But I would love to hear if anybody else has had a similar kind of just experience of that. And I was saying that it's almost not like that the joy is in us. We are in this full-on everything. We're connected. We're part of it. It's this whole awareness of connection. And one of the things, and I learn a lot. I have learned, as you guys know, I talk a lot about Michael Bernard Beckwith. I'm gonna reference something that I learned from him, an exercise that I learned from him, and I'll share later, where you can access a little bit more on that, on specifically the exercise that I'm going to go through today. But there was, it's really having that awareness, and I'm going to start with one exercise, and it's a lot of the things I do when I do watch a lot of what Michael Bernard Beckwith does. And the purpose of this initial exercise that we're going to go through is it's a vibration lifting exercise. For those of you that know or are aware of the law of attraction, how it works, whether you believe it or not, is that when you're in a higher vibration, you literally attract more to you of the very things that are already yours coming your way. And this is another shift of thought, is the awareness that abundance, everything, if there's any dream you've ever had for anything at all, it's already there. We already have it. It's there in the invisible, so it's there. And there's this process of how the universe is unfolding and bringing it into the visible. And we can do things to help maintain that process, or we can do things that block that process. One of the classic ways of blocking the process of manifestation are things like worry, doubt, fear, thinking of ourselves as not enough, buying into this actually the myth of separation. We're in these bodies, but we're spiritual beings in these bodies. And I purposely told you the story of my feeling of that connection, because the reality is we are connected. And because we're in these physical bodies, it may seem like we're not. But the reality is the connection and and our ability to access all of this. I'm going to give a science example because those tend to help me. But thinking of, the person that may have come up with the idea, or many who have come up with the idea for even just for the internet, our ability to communicate with you right now, right here. The science that made that possible, right? That's always existed. It just needed a point of awareness of somebody to make it physically manifest, so that we can physically actually see each other, do this thing like click on a link on this thing called a computer, which when I grew up there was, there's no such thing, no ability to do any of that. But the possibility of it existed. It already existed. And some folks that had come up with science fiction had come up with some of these ideas, like, the whole idea of think of Star Trek. Flipping open a communicator where you talk on this little thing that you hold in your hand, and you can talk to people far, far, far away. Imagine that, right? Well, we now call cell phones, and we can literally talk to people around the planet. We can even, we have ways of communicating with, with our space shuttles and everything else, even having a space shuttle, all that stuff. It all existed. We just brought it into manifestation. Okay, but and the possibility of that, there's infinite possibilities of things that somebody may be watching this 100 years from now are going to laugh at the stuff that we don't think is possible, right? So I'm throwing out on, because I resonate with the science stuff, so I figure maybe there's a way that'll help resonate with people as well in just terms of this awareness. And so what I'm about to do is something that's going to allow you naturally to raise your vibration. And it's a little exercise where I'm going to say something, and you'll say, I'm going to do a variety of different exercises. There's a process of exercises I'm going to take you through here today, leading to one bigger one at the end. And it's to turn to, maybe you might be, there might be someone right next to you if you're watching this, and you can speak to that person, or if you're like me and there's no one else in the room, you can in your mind be talking to us, or you can be talking to someone that you care about, whether or not they're physically there to hear you right now. Think of one person, or maybe even a group of people. I'm going to be talking to these ladies right here and to my kids in the other room, okay? Or you can pick one, whatever is easier for you. And open up your hands as if so that you're reaching out, and you're going to, and the idea is that you're extending your heart through your hands, the power of the universe through your voice, and right seeing through your inner eye, okay? And I'm going to say something, and you guys just repeat it after me, all right? I see who you truly are.
I see who you truly are.
I see that you are a unique emanation of love, beauty, and divine intelligence.
That's a lot for me to remember.
I see that you're a unique emanation of love.
Animation of love?
Emanation of love. That you are a unique.
You are a unique emanation of love.
Beauty.
Beauty.
And divine intelligence.
And divine intelligence.
You are a one-of-a-kind wonderful.
You are a one-of-a-kind wonderful.
You are a one-of-a-kind magnificent.
You are a one-of-a-kind magnificent.
You are a one-of-a-kind genius.
You are a one-of-a-kind genius.
You are needed by the universe.
You are needed by the universe.
And today we get to celebrate your very existence.
And today we get to celebrate your
very existence.
And we appreciate you.
And we appreciate you.
Okay. Now I just want to ask, just internally, for Keisha and Greta, how do you feel a little bit inside now after that you just did that?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I feel good. I feel great, actually, like I'm contributing I'm helping someone to really know that we mean those things and that they really are those things. So, and I feel those things about myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel awesome every time I do an exercise like this, and the more that I repeat it, I can physically and emotionally and spiritually just feel a lift in my spirit. So I love doing it. I do it. You guys know I do it these types of things every day with my kids. And as I was doing it, I like to think of others, and visualize people. And I have my little one here, of course, with me. So I thought, well, maybe the next one, if we do another one, I'll face him and say it to him as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, the exercise is rewinding. The idea of the exercise is to actually think of someone else. Because sometimes we find it hard to do that for ourselves, but as an exercise to do that, thinking of reaching your energy out to someone else that you care about. Sometimes it's easier for us when we start doing these kinds of things to send that love and that energy out to someone outside of ourselves, right? And then from that lift, then apply it to ourselves. So for me, I know whenever I do that, if I happen to be allowed myself to get into a little bit of a funk and bought into forgetting all of who I really am, that for me it lifts. I'm just curious to see. I don't know if Keisha, are you able to look and see on the page to see if anybody else is there? Anyone else, if you had an experience, if it feels good, just say yeah, yes. Or any comment that you want to put in there. Anybody watching? I know we have a whole bunch of people watching.
I just refreshed the screen to see if we have any comments. I didn't see anything yet. I just want to encourage anyone that's watching, don't be shy. Just go ahead and comment. We appreciate you, and we love to have an interactive hangout.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it's okay even if you just say, yeah, I felt great, or just anything little. But if not, that's okay. That's cool. You're here. Everybody's always welcome. It's just part of that communication out also, it lifts. It's a lifting when you give of that way too. That also lifts vibration. So, and I did that on purpose to help open up to some of the other stuff that I'm going to get into here now. So that's one exercise, and you've got it, that you can use for speaking out to others and then speaking it to yourself. I find it easier for me when I'm deep. If I fall down that little rabbit hole, I forget. That helps really pull me up. So, okay. So I want to get into just some concepts here, and that is that, and I mentioned it a little bit before, and that is that when we are in a state of worry, right? That means you're future projecting a negative outcome, okay? And if you're feeling any kind of guilt or shame about anything, that means that you're sitting there living in some kind of a negative perspective of the past, right? And in the present, if you're not feeling good enough, all of those things literally block the abundance that's already yours. They literally put up a wall to it. So for those of us, that may say, okay, I do these affirmations and I do this, that, and the other, but it's not manifesting. It's a matter of taking a look at where are you spending most of your energy and time, because it's good and it's a good start. It's a good start to go out there and do these kinds of things and affirmations and visualize, experience things in the present moment, the stuff that you dreamed of as if you've already had them, because in essence they really are already yours. It's just a matter of them showing up, just like your birthday. You get your presents there in the morning, or those of you that celebrate Christmas, the presents are there. It's Christmas Eve. They're there for you in the morning. Those of us brought up Jewish, we don't have that experience. But, so I say the birthday, everybody's got the whole birthday thing. You've got your presents there, right? And they're yours. You just got to unwrap them. It's the same kind of thing. Or your abundance, we already have it. And a lot of it comes to us from where our experience is in the present moment, because really that's all we have. Because, a lot of us, we're reaching out, we're going to feel happy, we'll feel good when this happens, or my bank account shows this, or this shows that, or this shows that. Ironically enough, for the process of manifestation, always reaching for the future, right, where I will be happy when, literally stops the when from being present. Because when you get to the when, there's always something else. You know, we always have dreams, we're always expanding, we're always growing, but it's about really being here in the moment and living into that awareness of the closest thing I can give that example is of what happened to me when I was 14. And it's possible to get there. There's a lot of ways of getting there. You can get there through affirmations, you can get there through positive audio, you can get there through meditation. A lot of things work, different things work for different people. I'm just going to throw out some possible exercises. There's so much more out there, and it's always about resonating. We have inner circle audios that we listen to, that we have access to. You know, when you connect with us down below, there's so many things that can tap into that space of positiveness. But it's a powerful shift to realize that even though we set goals, and it's important to do that, to realize they're already ours. And even part of the training that we provide on the inside as well, we have actual PDF exercises and all this crazy stuff that you work with that allows you to experience things in the present moment. This is what I'm going to give today, is an additional exercise that allows you to live in that space, because it's a moment-to-moment practice of awareness, of bringing yourself back. When you, because let's face it, I mean, I go down that. Everybody, you know, we're human, and part of being human is being in these bodies, and we can forget what really is. And what really is not what's on the news. Seriously. They get paid to provide gloom and doom out there. It's a reflection of people's thinking, and even your current circumstances are not a crystal ball of your future. They're only a reflection of your past thinking. That's all they are. So your current circumstances, you can come into this space of awareness of this abundance and this joy of being, right, even before it manifests. Like, I'll often ask somebody, I'll say, and think him like, if you think of a particular dream or a particular goal that you have, right, I'll say to folks, okay, so it's already happened. You're here right now, right? You're living in that beautiful home, or you're traveling, or you're able to be home with your kids and actually do the things that you want to do, and you don't have to send them off into daycare, whatever it is for you, whatever that would mean in terms of a life of freedom, right? Let's just go there for the moment. Okay, so you've got that. You got that right here, right now. Allow yourself right now. Close your eyes and just allow yourself right now. Because you know, a lot of you have your dreams, you have your stuff. Allow yourself right now. Okay, so you've got it. You've got it right here, right now. You've experienced it. It's happening. What does that give you? What does that give you? Okay, and if you allow yourself to keep asking that question, often what comes up are feelings. Feelings of joy, feelings of relief, of some kind of it's an emotional space of how you feel when the thing that you're reaching to manifest is actually already here, right? So I know Alicia's coming and going. I don't know if she can come on, but Greta or Keisha, if you want to pop out as to, just because right now, because I know you just went there, I saw you guys close your eyes, of what pulled up, what was the experience, what was the feeling that pulled up of experiencing, you know, what one of your goals are, that it's already here, right now. What was the feeling of that? Anybody, either one of you want to pop out with that? That's okay if you don't. That's all right. Are you muted, unmuted, Greta?
No, I wasn't sure if Ray was about to speak, or if Alicia could speak at all. I know when I have those exercises, I was a little slow and behind you guys just then, but no, I feel such great pleasure, like you said, joy, acceptance. I know that all is well when I reach those goals, or that particular goal that I was thinking of at that particular time, that all will be well when I reach that particular goal.
Right. And yeah, that feeling of all is well, everything is working together for your good, all is well, that feeling of all is well, right? That's the feeling that when we make a conscious effort to pull that up here and now, before the circumstance is there, it literally attracts it to us. And frankly, more good than we can possibly imagine, because we have our goals. But I always say, whenever you set a goal, always open it up to being more good than you can possibly imagine, because often that's what happens. It's even better. You know, it's even better, especially if we allow ourselves to open up to that part of that process is allowing yourself to feel the feelings here and now, right? And to allow that joy here and now, because it's ours. It's ours, and it literally brings it to us. Greta, did you want to pop out, or you're good for now?
I was just going to say, you know, I think that when we're going through these exercises, it is valuable to share for us ladies that are on how we're feeling during the process as well, because I know that there are others that can relate, and it just strengthens the whole process for them as well. So for me, the word and the feeling that came up for me was contentment. It's just like, I love that feeling of just pure contentment. I don't know what it is. I've hung on to that feeling of that desired feeling for a very long time. Years and years ago, when I finally made a conscious decision to change the way I felt, to change the way that I viewed myself and my life and what I was creating.
Yeah.
That was the most important and most significant for me, was just focusing on the feeling of inner peace and contentment. So that's
and Alicia was just on and off. She just got her. Thank you, Greta. That's so powerful. I just saw Alicia popped on. She popped off, but when she comes back on, we'll grab her. We'll grab her as soon as she gets in there, because we saw her for a second. Then she was gone. Her internet connection, because she's in her car. She's running around right now. So. But yeah, so that's very powerful. Do we have anything on the page at all of anybody that's commented on their experience or anything? And by the way, if you're watching this in replay, feel free, put, on each exercise, write down, share it out with us, and, because we will be going back and communicating with you. So, because time and space are, it's really, the energy of who we are and all of this goes beyond time and space. So we're really connected in the here and now, actually, so.
Yeah, people are very quiet today. I can see that you're out there, you're watching, and that's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Yeah, because we can see how many people are listening. There's lots of folks listening. That's okay. You're experiencing it. So, okay. So I'm going to go and move on here. And the next thing I'm going to tell is it's really a story that Michael Bernard Becker told me about that's going to lead into this exercise. And he told this story. He was talking to a gentleman, to a person who was, seeking some advice, and he had been really delving deep into his past and wanting to look at a bunch of things that had happened in his past and somehow change or release or change some of negative things or experience, all this stuff that had happened in the past. And there is a value in having an awareness of things, especially if you can remember a trauma that might have happened that you didn't remember. Bring it to the surface, because it might have been working in your subconscious or whatever. But the one thing he said is there's also a trap in there that can happen, because if you're constantly digging in to that negative, because he'd been digging and digging and digging and digging and digging, and he got into this place of such stress. He was living in this place of stress about all this stuff and wanting to release it, understanding it and digging in and all that stuff, right? And this may seem, I don't know, sacrilegious or whatever, but I'm going to share what he said. And I went through the exercise when he shared it. With the group that I was with, and it's about starting with an awareness. One of the most powerful ways that we can get connected to the now, because that feeling of contentment, that feeling that all is well, right? Instead of reaching and going, when I get this, all is well. When this happens, all will be well. To allow that in the present moment, because reaching for it as opposed to knowing that it's already yours, right? It's a shift. It's knowing that it's already yours, right? Like those birthday presents. And that all we're doing is expanding, and it's going to manifest. You know that morning's going to come, you're going to be opening up those presents. They're already yours. Or when you've planned a vacation, and you know that vacation is yours. Your airline tickets are booked. Your hotel is booked. It's all done, right? And some of us will, might daydream, oh, I'm on the beach and it's this, that, and the other thing. It's already yours. And then there's just the steps that you take. Okay, we're going to pack, we're going to get on the airplane, we're going to do this. Maybe some of us got to go get a passport. Whatever it is that you got to do, there's all these steps that you take, but it's already yours. Or even if you're going on this vacation, okay, I'm going to look online and I'm going to reserve which hotel am I going to stay at, which flight, what airline do I want to go on, blah, blah, blah. What's the best time of day, etc. Oh, I'm going to take a taxi to the airport, whatever it is. There's steps that you take. Using that as an example, we open up to our wisdom, because what happens when we're focusing on the negative, when we're living in a place of fear of the future, shame about the past, worry, feelings of not enoughness, feelings of lack, separation, any of that. What that does is it actually releases toxic chemicals into our body. And when those toxic chemicals are released, the hemispheres of our brain don't talk to each other very well. And our frontal cortex can't do its job, which allows us to frankly access all of this wisdom and ideas that are out there in the universe for us to access, and also allows us the ability, unlike our reptilian brain, right, which just operates in flight or fight, right? Like when somebody is in that place of flight or fight, they're either fear or they're attacking or whatever, right? It's like that. We have the ability to separate from that. When the right and left hemispheres of our brain are talking to each other and the frontal cortex gets to be involved, we have the ability to separate from circumstance and make choices in the moment, regardless of what's in our environment, right? And literally, if those toxic chemicals are released, it prevents us. And that also releases energies that literally block what's coming from. So it happens in so many different levels. Whereas, if we can, instead of buying into those thoughts, because it becomes a habit, we can actually develop a habit of negative thinking. We can develop a habit of fearing the future, a habit of assuming the worst, a habit of going, well, I'm going to think of the worst possible thing that could happen and prepare for that, right? And I used to think that was actually being responsible. And when I became aware that by preparing for the worst case scenario, I was actually attracting the worst case scenario, and the most responsible thing is to live in that space of all is well, in that space of contentment, in that space of connection, of knowing that everything is working together for my good if I just but allow it, right? And stay in that positive feeling, that positive space, regardless of my circumstances. That what I learned was that actually releases tonic chemicals into the body that allows this incredible brain that we've got that's left in the different hemispheres to speak to each other, which activates the frontal cortex, which activates the pineal gland and all of that, right? So that we can literally access the wisdom that's out there. Like the people that, like I said, we talked about the internet and the ability to be able to have cell phones and communicate and all that. It was always out there. The folks that allow themselves to access all of that wisdom and more that is there for this, there's such infinite possibilities that we then allow ideas to emerge from us. Allow, accessing all of that in actions to take, right? In the creativity, in the moment, and literally attract it to us as well. It operates on two fronts. So I'm going to take us through an exercise that he suggested that allows us to actually access that present space. Because it's about being in the present and feeling and bringing ourselves to get into certain feelings regardless of our circumstances. I'm giving you permission, no matter what is in your current environment, or your current bank account, or your current whatever it is that you're working on, your current health, your current anything, right? To allow yourself to let that go and do this. And it's going to be a very simple thing, but one of the most powerful ways to bring us into this present space of connection and awareness and accessing all that is our breath. So in a second, I'm going to have us take a deep breath, and this is what he told this guy to do. To take a deep breath and release it as a relief, like relief, like just relief, just relief. It's all good. So right now, when everybody, all of you watching, whether you're on the replay, whether you're not, just to take a deep breath and go, and just like release, relief, like a breath of relief. Let's take another one. Relief, okay? And I'm going to take us to the next one, and then we'll talk about our experience with it, okay? And the next one is actually a breath and release, and it's like that. It's like, I've arrived. It's here. That outcome, right? Like when you went into that outcome, it's relief, and it's arrived. It's already here. Just allow yourself to go there. You have permission, regardless of your current circumstances, okay? So deep breath. Oh, I've arrived. It's here. All is good. Another one. Deep breath. Release it with a sound. Oh, I've arrived. It's here. I'm here. I'm finally here. It's here. Okay. And now I'm going to reach into each of you to come out, whoever wants to talk first, about how that feels. What was the experience of that? What was the experience of that? Either one. Keisha or Greta, whoever wants to pop out first.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Just release. I feel relief and release. So just more peaceful, more grounded. I usually am in a state where I can't worry about tomorrow. I have to just take it day by day and deal with today. I believe that everything is going to work out for my good. So, you know, I'm all on board with this. But this just to take those deep breaths and release it and let it out. And just, so, you know, I used to be the biggest worrywart ever. I mean, truly. Like, just really anxious about a lot of stuff unnecessarily. And I do my best to encourage people and coach them. Listen, stop. Don't worry about that. Don't talk about this. Don't what if. We can't. And so we just have to worry about now, deal with right now, and let's get to the next day. Let's just worry about today. So this is just so on board with how I live my life and how I like to try to encourage those that are in my close circle, including my children. My son, he's very anxious about a lot, and I have, you know, some younger people that I'm helping to mentor. You know, I've been through a lot, and I shared on a post today. You know, I could have taken the easy way out. You know, someone shared about that, suicide, and you know, I've been through some very, 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 when I say very, I mean very traumatic things in my life, and I do believe, I just gotta chill. I do believe that doing that is taking the easy way out, because we're not thinking about all of our loved ones and our friends that we have around us. And as we were talking earlier, Valerie, what I've learned from this community and from these exercises and from other personal development is that everything is going to be well. I've learned to reframe those traumatic experiences. I've learned to reframe the fact that I didn't have my father in my life the way I would have loved to have had him in my life, and that he died when I was 18 years old, you know, from cirrhosis of the liver. And, you know, I had to experience that throughout my whole, I mean, from 11 years old on up, I remember seeing him having seizures on the floor because of what he was doing to his body. But I've learned to reframe those things, and I know that I am a stronger woman today because of those things that I've been through, and because of how I'm learning to deal with life. We can't control everything. We cannot. And so if we just deal with the here and now and just appreciate life, which I share with my young son who's 8 years old. My youngest daughter turns 18 today, and you know, we have some, yeah, she's 18 today. So, Mommy, when I get off here, I'm running to the supermarket. I'm going to cook some favorite dishes of hers, and we're going to have a great evening. And I can't worry about what happened last week, why she was on punishment, and what's going to may happen tomorrow. You know, I just have to appreciate where we are today, appreciate the love that we have for each other, appreciate all of those things, and be so grateful and thank God, because I am a believer of Jesus Christ. So I thank God, and a lot of that is my Christian belief as well that has helped me with those things. Because if I, like you said, joy comes in the morning. If I didn't believe that, if I didn't have those beliefs that, Keisha, you can get through this day, you can get through those times, that everything is going to be better, even if you don't see how it's going to be better.
Yep.
It will be better. And I believe it and I know it. And so, you know, if I could speak to someone out there, just know that no matter what you're going through, you will and you can get through it. And you just have to believe it. And so I felt relief, but I always just take the time daily to just be in a state of gratitude. And, you know, like you said, sometimes we get in those little stinky, funky moods, and we have to be aware that, guess what? I don't have to be in that stinky, funky mood. I don't have to be in that rut. I don't have to be in that very dark place. And I'm thankful to you ladies, to our community, to the things that I've learned over the last 3 years. I'm thankful to, you know, my spiritual, you know, help and family, you know, because I'm evolving, I'm growing, I'm learning, and it's to ladies like you who help us with these things, Valerie. So I'm thankful and I appreciate you.
Thank you. And happy birthday to your daughter.
Yeah, she's 18 today. Woo!
Woo! Greta, you want to pop out with your experience of doing those breaths? Hi, sweetie.
Yeah, he just got his fingers closed in the door, so.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, Forrest.
We kiss it better. Mwah!
He's a big boy. Look at him. He's doing so good for someone who got his fingers mushed in the door.
Yeah,
a big boy.
He's very, very tough. He's a lot tougher than he looks, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, so for me, like I said, there's always a lot going on. So I'm going to be looking forward to coming back to this exercise and going through it again, and maybe you watching.
There's another part to coming up soon. Yeah.
Awesome, because you know I've got all this stuff going on, and the kids going crazy and stuff, and I'm trying to breathe and just get through that. And you know I'm not gonna make something up and say that you know I had this huge sense of relief, because I had all these things going on, and maybe for you, maybe that was going on for you, and it was what was really great about it, because this is what's happening right now in my world, is that it made me realize that this mama needs to take a little extra time for herself today to, you know, just have a quiet time for me and to breathe and to get back into that space. And because I've been going, and I felt like it was important for me to just be here and go through this experience, go through this exercise, have those feelings come up, and be able to share it with you, because it was a reminder for me, and maybe this is a reminder that you needed to hear for yourself. And that's why you know, just like you were saying, Keisha, it's like sometimes you just got to take it day by day, moment by minute, minute by minute, whatever it is. And you know, I'm the same way. Like, just I'm always so conscious about just being in the present moment and trusting in where you're going, and you know, knowing that every choice, every decision I make is for the greater good, for myself, for my children, for my family, and for others around me. And that, to me, it's like, it's easy to just go through my life and trust whatever comes up and whatever comes in, that everything, good, bad, ugly, whatever it is, there's something really, really great, and then another opportunity to transform wherever I'm at in my current situation and in my life. So this is very, very powerful, and maybe you've even heard some of these things, and that's what makes it even greater. It's just that repetition, and to continue to keep growing and keep going, hearing it in different ways that maybe resonate and trigger something that can break something through, something within in yourself that needed a shift. So that's what happened for me.
That's great. And high school.
That's important. That's important because with you and your half a dozen children, you give, and you always have to be present for them. But it's awesome that you saw and realized that you have to be present for yourself, because if we're always continuously giving, we get depleted, and then we can't really function at the rate or at the optimal place we should be, because we're depleted. So we got to give back to ourselves and pour back into ourselves. And this is why I'm so happy. I missed last week, and I'm so happy to come on and see your beautiful smiling face today and you lovely ladies, because this is pouring back into me. Whenever I have these type of experiences, I'm getting filled back up again. And so always remember, you're not selfish because you do that. Because if you're at a different state where you can't really give what they need because you're depleted, that's not good. So you're not being selfish, and maybe I'm talking to someone else out there. You're not being selfish to give and pour back into yourself. It's necessary.
Yeah, and the thing is when, and it's one of those things that you can do even in the midst of everything, right? You can take a deep breath and relief. I've arrived. Especially if you've practiced it, it's like one of those things you can do quickly in the moment, even with kid pandemonium around you, right? Because it's just breathing.
It's necessary sometimes. You have to do it.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing that for awareness of here is that literally the power in it. Because when you raise your vibration, because when you do that and you remember, and you're lifting your vibration. When you do that, because even if your current circumstances haven't changed, your brain and your body don't know that, right? You're sending yourself into that message, which releases those tonic chemicals, right? Which raises, which does all kinds of things emotionally. It opens up your ability to think better and clearer in the moment, and also literally, because you're raising your vibration. Those of you that do understand the law of attraction, you are keeping the channel of the manifestation coming to, that process of all the little steps of everything that happens in the universe, so things that are already yours to become manifest, right? It's almost like when you stay worried, you're not even going to get on that plane. You stay worried, you won't even bother to open up your presents because it's like you're so blocked you forget you even have them. It's kind of like that when you're releasing the tonic stuff. And you allow yourself to raise your vibration, regardless of your current circumstances. It's the very most responsible thing you can do to literally keep moving towards you the thing that's already yours, just in the process of the manifestation. It's like, if you can imagine things that are in motion toward you, it's already yours. You just got to let it be. Part of that process is actions you're going to take. Part of that process is just things coming to you. Part of that process is having more vigor, because I know me, if I'm in a state of stress, the way I deal with my kids is different. The way I deal with everything is different. When I allow myself this space, it's very different. So I want to go through the last piece of this exercise, because it's like relief. I've arrived. And then taking a breath and allowing yourself to be in awe. Actually being in awe. Seeing in your environment. Maybe, there's that like I've got like this palm tree out my window, seeing it in a different way, right? Seeing the blades of grass around you, seeing the people around you. You're seeing them, it's like, oh, look how beautiful. Like when we did that exercise at the beginning and you allowed yourself to, to open up your hands and extend your heart and, see things with the power of the universe. See, if you can say, you can seeing from the light of God, whatever your belief system, the words that you want to use, seeing a person. When you allowed yourself to see someone in that first exercise, right, in that beautiful, beautiful way, seeing the beauty of who they really are, despite anything manifesting on the outside at the moment, seeing the essence of who they really are, right? That you can see people around you differently. You can see the situation. Maybe if you're in traffic, right? It's like, wow. Like he gave this great example. The traffic has never been quite this dense before. Oh my goodness, look at this. Look at all these incredible beings. And they're all headed somewhere to go and have joy in their lives and do things. Isn't it beautiful? This connection with all these beautiful beings, and we're all connected, right? I mean, you could turn anything in that moment, right? Into seeing the awe of the moment. Seriously, living in Los Angeles, just saying, that's a biggie,
Right. We're all going to the same place. We're all going.
That's awesome.
You know what I'm saying, yeah? So it's taking it to that next step. So you go relief, deep breath, relief, deep breath, I've arrived, it's so great. And then looking around you and going, wow. Just allowing yourself to see with those eyes, seeing that real reality in the moment. That's transformational, and that allows so much. And in that space, a natural gratitude can arise as well. It does for me. It's just like wow, how beautiful, how wonderful. So grateful for the beauty of everyone and everything. It's a shortcut to that space. And the more we do it, like any form of exercise, the easier it gets, so that when you have craziness around you with a bunch of kids or whatever you got going on in your environment, you can remember this. You can have this as a reminder, something as something in your back pocket that you can do on a moment-to-moment basis. Because we do our bigger exercises of, we had one hangout where we talked about having your outcome and all the different things and all the special guests that we've had come out. But what's really powerful, what really allows the manifestation, is the moment-to-moment where we're at. And if we can keep monitoring where we're at emotionally, and if we find ourselves going down there, don't get down on yourself for having gone there. Just allow yourself. It's like, oh, I noticed. Okay, I'm going to take a deep breath. I've arrived. Wow, look at this. Look at this beauty. Just taking that moment just takes a second. And the more we do it, the more we live from that space. And the more we live from that space, the more we are open in the moment, the more our left brain and right brain's talking, our frontal cortex is in action, we're opening up our brains, we're opening up our lives, we're accessing our wisdom and everything else, and attracting all the good and more good that can possibly imagine that is already ours. It's kind of like all in one. And that's the exercise. That's what I have. There's so much more we can go and get into, and in future hangouts we will. It's just a very powerful moment-to-moment little mini vacation and bringing yourself, because it's like, you know what, I realized I spent so many years, going into the responsible supposed thing of looking for the worst case scenario and planning for it and dealing with it. And creating that habit of negative. Why not create a habit of positive? This is a way to create that habit of positive in the moment, and it literally actively in the moment transforms allows the manifestation to happen a lot faster, because you're not blocking it, right? You're not blocking it with your negative space, right? And it just feels good. My goodness, it feels good. So that's what I have. We're actually at the top of the hour. That's what I have to share today. I would love to get experiences from any of you, from Keisha, Greta, anybody that we see in the comments, in the chat, and even a replay. Please share it with us. Keisha, you look like you're ready to burst.
I was going to say, we should have more of these. We should have more weeks of these exercises. I think it'll be great for everyone, not just the viewers, but for us. I mean, just to have that, because like you said, sometimes when you're moving too fast, when you have a lot going on, it's like Greg said, it's awesome to purge, and it's awesome to just release and to feel that and to know that you already have it, and feel good about it now. Feel good about it now.
Yep.
And so it'll keep you in a better state. And it helped me to think about so much, even just dealing with my son. I know that we can all handle things a lot of different ways, but I know like you say, I see myself going a certain way, and I didn't like it, and I just immediately started showing more love. More love. I gave him more love. I showed more. Instead of getting angry, I said, "You need a hug." I just give more love, and we hugged each other, and that immediately changed the state, and he went from being crying and upset and complaining to getting the hug and hugging me back and seeing it differently. That changed his state. So, you know, this just feels good. I hope everyone else is feeling good.
Yeah. I love that, Keisha. I love that. That's so beautiful. I love that.
I totally agree. I love that, and I agree with you that doing these hangouts like this are really, really powerful, and being able to be a part of it and do it just to feel the goodness in the moment with each other, and just feel more centered, more in tune with our desires and where we're going and what we've done, where we've been. And it's so important to acknowledge the things in our lives of what we've been through, and to know that, you know, as we're going through these memories and these situations and experiences in our lives, in our minds, sorry, he's making a little bit of noise, just actually acknowledging the fact that, wow, I've done that. I've been through some pretty challenging things. Like, whatever it is I'm going through right now is actually pretty small. If I could do all that, I can do this. If she can do that, I can do this. If Keisha can go through that, I can do this, you know? And it's just that reminder. It's so important. And you know, we're creatures of habit, and we need to always reevaluate. I think it's so important to reevaluate what our habits are, whether they're healthy or unhealthy, and where we need to create those shifts. And that, for me, is really valuable. So I'm grateful to have been a part of this, and to be able to watch the replay and go through it again. You know, and to just constantly be learning, and it feels good when we have moments like this. It's a reminder, again, that word is like, it keeps coming up for me, because it's just a reminder that I am exactly where I'm supposed to be right now, and you are exactly where you're supposed to be right now, and whatever it is that you may be going through, if it's a difficult situation, you'll get through it. If it's a good situation, embrace it and own it, and really, really just experience it to the fullest. And, you know, it's awesome to be here, and I'm just loving it. So thank you so much. And he's making too much noise. I'm gonna mute myself out.
Okay. Thank you, Greta. And yeah, and really, it's like, you know, and we're not saying, you know, and you know, we all I'm saying for all of us, we're saying definitely, you know, you have your big dreams, but but the point with all this is to realize that those dreams are already yours. Definitely allow yourself to go there. Allow yourself to go there into the things that you know you want to create, because it'll bubble up from inside of you. That's the other thing. When you do this exercise, things are going to bubble up as well. Awareness of even more possible good. When you say the word, you know, infinite good, you know, more good than I can possibly imagine, right? It's coming up, and when you allow that to come up, allow that to be there. It's the difference of allowing and experiencing the appreciation of you already having it, even if it's not physically around you. Right? And connecting, like I said, you know, we have our community and everything below. We have all these additional exercises and stuff that we take you through on a very deep level, you know, in diving through all of this. This is a moment-to-moment exercise that's really powerful. So if you haven't already, connect with us below, and we can take you into our community and our process and everything else, and all the resources that we have as well to help you with all of that. I'd love to end with just, you know, just a thought, an intention. That, you know, when we speak the word, we have the power. You have the power to speak the word, and when you speak it and allow it, you're bringing the moment. It's almost like Before you even say it, it's already yours. Before you even think it, it's already yours. And then when you say it, you're speaking the vibration of bringing it to you. So bringing it from the invisible to the visible, right? That's the thing. We say bringing it to you, it's not about its coming. It's already yours, and just allowing it. So I'm going to use the words let it, all right? Let it, because it's already yours. You know, it's like let there be light. Let there be beauty. Let there be all your abundance. Let there be all your prosperity. You know, let there be joy. Let there be, you know, all kinds of unity and love and kindness and compassion everywhere in your world. It's already yours. It's there now. And big hugs to all of you. Connect with us. Comment below in the chat. We're going to be interacting with you. And we will see you all next week.